The day begins quietly, as the first light of dawn gently spreads across Taipei. The skyline awakens under a soft palette of pinks, purples, and golds. The city slowly shaking off the stillness of night. Mist drifts lazily around the distant mountains, curling over tree-covered slopes and softening the edges of the urban landscape. The air carries the faint, fresh scent of dew on grass and flowers, a quiet promise of a new day. Birds take to the sky in flocks, their wings catching the delicate glow of the rising sun. Their calls echo faintly through the valleys and hills, creating a living soundtrack to the city's awakening. The Taipei River glimmers like liquid silver in the early light, its surface rippling gently as if reflecting the rhythm of the city below. Small boats bob lazily along its course, shrouded momentarily in the lingering mist. As the sun rises higher, its golden rays begin to touch the rooftops of the National Palace Museum. The museum's grand silhouette stands proudly against the backdrop of soft pastel skies. Each roof tile glimmers faintly, and the ornate eaves and sweeping curves of the structure hint at the centuries of artistry and imperial history preserved inside. The red walls and golden roofs glow warmly, creating a striking contrast against the lush greenery surrounding the complex. The forecourt remains calm, almost meditative, as the first visitors begin to arrive. The manicured gardens surrounding the museum, dotted with lotus ponds and delicate stone pathways, are still covered in morning dew. Koi fish swim gracefully beneath the water's surface, their scales catching glimmers of sunlight, adding life to the tranquil scene. Every element, the gardens, the ponds, the architecture, works in harmony, creating a sense of balance and serenity. Soft breezes stir the leaves of nearby trees and the tall bamboo groves, producing a subtle, rustling whisper that blends with the distant city sounds, the faint hum of early traffic, a bird's song, and the occasional toll of a temple bell. The atmosphere is charged with quiet anticipation, as though the city itself is holding its breath, waiting for the museum doors to open and for the treasures within to greet the world once more. Looking up at the mountains beyond, bathed in the gentle pink and gold light of dawn, it feels as if the National Palace Museum is cradled between earth and sky. Its presence is both commanding and serene, a guardian of history and culture, inviting visitors to step into a world where art, history, and human ingenuity converge. The calm and beauty of this early hour prepare the mind and senses for the journey. Ahead, a journey through centuries of imperial China, through jade, porcelain, paintings, and the stories of emperors and artisans alike. As the first rays fully illuminate the museum's golden roofs and red walls, a sense of reverence fills the air. Dawn in Taipei is more than the start of a day. It is an invitation to witness the timeless beauty, the artistry, and the history preserved within the walls of the National Palace Museum, a world waiting silently, patiently, to be explored. As the first rays of sunlight continue to warm the museum's golden rooftops, the focus shifts to the grand entrance. The massive gates, adorned with intricate carvings of dragons, phoenixes, and swirling clouds, stand as silent guardians to the treasures within. Two imposing stone lions flank the entrance, their eyes carved with fierce intensity, symbolizing protection and strength. Visitors pause before them, a mixture of awe and curiosity reflected in their faces. The forecourt stretches out ahead, a spacious area framed by manicured gardens, lotus ponds, and stone pathways. The gardens are meticulously arranged, combining harmony and symmetry with natural beauty. Koi fish glide silently beneath the surface of the still ponds, their scales catching the early morning light. Lotus flowers rise gracefully, their petals slowly opening, as if mirroring the awakening city around them. The air is fresh and crisp, carrying subtle floral scents and the earthy aroma of dew-soaked soil. Visitors begin to gather, some quietly taking in the architecture, others photographing the ornate details of the entrance. The sweeping eaves of the museum's roof, with their delicate curves and intricate ornamentation, reflect the centuries of traditional Chinese design. Golden tiles shimmer under the sunlight, while intricate carvings along the railings and pillars tell stories of dragons, phoenixes, and other symbols of prosperity and protection. The harmony of these elements creates a sense of balance, preparing visitors for the journey through the museum's treasures. As footsteps echo softly across the stone pathway, the museum's architecture commands attention without overwhelming. Every detail, the curvature of the roof, the symmetry of the gates, the delicate reliefs on the walls, speaks of precision, artistry, and cultural significance. Visitors walk slowly, absorbing the grandeur while taking in the serene surroundings of the gardens and ponds. Some pause to sit on benches tucked into shaded corners, reflecting quietly before stepping into the world inside. The forecourt is more than a simple entry. It is a transitional space where anticipation builds. It allows visitors a moment to adjust their pace, to breathe, and to take in the full scale of what lies ahead. The subtle sounds of birdsong, flowing water from the ponds, and a gentle breeze through bamboo groves complement the visual splendor, creating an atmosphere that is both calming and inspiring. Finally, the massive wooden doors of the museum slowly open, revealing a warm, inviting glow from the interior galleries. The moment feels ceremonial, as though stepping from the world of nature and architecture into a timeless realm of human creativity. The entrance and forecourt serve as the perfect introduction, blending art, history, and nature to welcome visitors into the heart of the National Palace Museum. Stepping through the grand doors, visitors enter the Hall of Treasures, the first of the museum's interior galleries. The space is vast and serene, with polished marble floors that reflect soft overhead lighting, casting a gentle glow on the centuries-old artifacts. The air is quiet, filled with a sense of anticipation and reverence. Jade carvings immediately capture attention, each piece shimmering with a soft luster. The famed jade cabbage, delicately carved with its veins and folds, seems almost alive, while the meat-shaped stone amazes with its astonishing realism. These objects are not only beautiful, they represent the painstaking skill, patience, and artistry of craftsmen from dynasties past. Every curve, color, and detail tells a story of human dedication to perfection. Nearby, porcelain galleries display bowls, plates, and towering vases decorated with intricate patterns and vibrant glazes. Ming Dynasty blues swirl with clouds and dragons, while Qing Dynasty reds and golds shimmer subtly. Each piece reflects both aesthetic mastery and the cultural values of its era. Some were made for daily use, while others were created for emperors and nobility, showcasing the range of artistic skill and social significance. Bronze vessels, ceremonial tools, and ritual objects occupy their own space. Echoing the traditions of Imperial China, dragons, phoenixes, and geometric motifs are engraved meticulously into each surface, telling stories of power, ritual, and symbolism. The objects invite contemplation, revealing the profound connection between artistry and life in ancient China. Visitors move slowly through the hall, their eyes tracing the details of each artifact. Children press their faces against glass displays in wonder. Scholars make notes, and tourists pause to imagine the hands that once created these treasures. The gallery becomes a bridge across centuries, allowing viewers to witness the evolution of craftsmanship, design, and cultural heritage. The Hall of Treasures is not merely a display of objects. It is a journey through history, from jade carvings to porcelain masterpieces and ceremonial bronze. Each artifact communicates the skill, imagination, and cultural significance of its time. The gallery sets the tone for the entire museum visit, immersing visitors in the beauty, elegance, and enduring legacy of Imperial China. Deeper into the museum, visitors enter the gallery dedicated to jade and ceramics, two of China's most celebrated art forms. The jade pieces are mesmerizing, their surfaces polished to a subtle glow. Each carving tells a story, from delicate animals to symbolic ornaments representing prosperity, protection, and power. Among these treasures, the jade cabbage remains a highlight, its intricate folds and tiny locusts perched atop capturing the imagination of every visitor. Nearby, the meat-shaped stone continues to astonish with its lifelike texture and color, a testament to the extraordinary skill of Qing Dynasty artisans. The ceramics gallery showcases the evolution of porcelain artistry over centuries. Ming Dynasty vases feature cobalt blue dragons twisting dynamically across pristine white surfaces, while Qing Dynasty pieces shine with reds, golds, and intricate patterns. Bowls, plates, teapots, and ceremonial vessels all reflect a combination of utility, elegance, and artistry. Each brushstroke and glaze technique speaks to the dedication of the artisans and the rich cultural significance of their work. Visitors take time to observe the details, tracing the patterns of dragons, flowers, and landscapes with their eyes. The gallery also highlights how styles and techniques evolved over different dynasties, offering insight into changes in taste, technology, and cultural expression. Some pieces display subtle imperfections, revealing the human touch behind the creation, while others remain flawless, demonstrating the skill required for imperial commissions. The combination of jade and ceramics demonstrates both durability and beauty, simplicity and complexity. Jade, cold and solid, conveys strength and symbolism, while porcelain, delicate and colorful, captures elegance and imagination. Together, they embody the duality of Chinese artistry, resilience and refinement, functionality and aesthetic excellence. In this gallery, visitors feel a direct connection to history. Each artifact, whether small or grand, tells a story of human creativity, tradition, and the cultural values of ancient China. The experience is both educational and emotional, leaving viewers with a deep appreciation for the artistry, patience, and legacy of the craftsmen whose work has survived centuries. Moving onward, visitors enter the galleries dedicated to calligraphy and paintings, spaces filled, not with noise, but with quiet reverence. The lighting softens here, allowing each scroll, each stroke of ink, to command attention. The scent of parchment and ancient pigments lingers faintly in the air, a reminder of the delicate materials that have survived for centuries. On the walls hang scrolls that capture the essence of Chinese art, flowing rivers, towering mountains, quiet scholars beneath blossoming trees, and scenes of daily life rendered in graceful detail. In traditional Chinese art, painting and poetry are one and the same. The brush does not merely depict what is seen, but what is felt, the soul of the landscape, the rhythm of time, the spirit of the artist. Calligraphy occupies an equally sacred place. Rows of ancient writing, executed with flawless precision, flow across long sheets of silk and paper. Each character is not just a letter, it is an art form, a meditation captured in ink. Some strokes are bold and commanding, while others are soft and graceful. The style and movement of the brush reveal the temperament and emotion of the calligrapher. To study the brushwork is to glimpse the artist's mind, their breath, and their emotion in motion. The museum showcases the masterpieces of China's greatest scholars and painters. Works by Su Shi, Mi Fu, and Zhao Mengfu, each piece representing a unique fusion of philosophy, poetry, and art. Scrolls depicting misty mountains invite quiet contemplation, while ink landscapes reveal the interplay of emptiness and form. Visitors stand silently before them, almost afraid to breathe too loudly, their eyes following the sweeping lines that evoke water, wind, and clouds. Some paintings stretch across entire walls, unfolding like visual poems that tell stories of nature, friendship, or solitude. Others are small and intimate, made for private viewing, capturing the serenity of bamboo groves or plum blossoms in winter. Through these works, the viewer senses the deep spiritual connection between humanity and nature that defines Chinese aesthetics. In this gallery, time seems to slow down. The world outside fades away, leaving only ink, paper, and silence. Visitors walk softly, captivated by the elegance of form and the beauty of restraint. The artistry here is not about grandeur, but about balance, simplicity, and meaning. The Calligraphy and Paintings Gallery reminds us that art is not just a reflection of the world, it is a reflection of the human spirit. Every stroke of the brush is a heartbeat preserved across centuries, a whisper from the past, speaking directly to the present. Beyond the galleries of jade, porcelain, and calligraphy lies one of the most awe-inspiring sections of the National Palace Museum, the Hall of Ancient Treasures and Imperial Relics. Here, time stretches back thousands of years, to the age of emperors, scholars, warriors, and artisans whose creations helped shape the identity of a civilization. Dimly lit halls preserve the quiet dignity of the objects within. Bronze vessels gleam faintly under soft light, their surfaces etched with intricate dragons, phoenixes, and swirling patterns that once adorned imperial altars and palaces. These ceremonial bronzes, some dating back more than 3 millennia to the Shang and Zhou dynasties, were not mere decorations, they were sacred instruments used in royal rituals, linking the human world to the divine. Their designs, powerful and symmetrical, echo the order of the cosmos as understood by ancient Chinese philosophy. Nearby, gold and silver ornaments glimmer with restrained opulence. Hairpins shaped like phoenix feathers, necklaces crafted from jade and coral, and belt buckles carved with tiny mythological creatures all speak of the refinement of imperial life. Every piece reflects the meticulous craftsmanship of artisans who worked for months, even years, to create beauty worthy of an emperor or empress. Further along, carved ivory, lacquered wood, and enamelware illustrate the endless creativity of Chinese artisans. Miniature sculptures, so finely detailed they could rest on a fingertip, reveal the incredible precision of ancient tools and techniques. Imperial furniture, adorned with mother-of-pearl inlay and dragon motifs, demonstrates both the luxury and symbolism of the royal court. Every curve and carving carries meaning, power, balance, longevity, and harmony. Scrolls and seals once owned by emperors lie displayed beneath glass, bearing witness to centuries of rule. Some are stamped in red ink, marking decrees that changed the course of history. Others bear poetic inscriptions, revealing the softer, more contemplative side of imperial life. These relics tell stories of governance, art, and intellect of emperors who were not only rulers, but also collectors, scholars, and patrons of the arts. Visitors walk slowly through these rooms, their footsteps hushed by the weight of history. Each artifact feels alive with memory, a silent witness to dynasties long past, yet preserved with astonishing clarity. The subtle glow of bronze, the shimmer of gold, and the deep polish of lacquer all remind us that beauty and craftsmanship were as essential to ancient Chinese civilization as power and ritual. Here, the line between art and history blurs completely. The ancient treasures and imperial relics of the National Palace Museum are not just remnants of the past. They are voices of artisans, emperors, and thinkers who sought to express their understanding of the world through material form. Each artifact tells a fragment of a grander story, the enduring dialogue between creativity, faith, and the pursuit of perfection. As visitors move toward the next gallery, they carry with them a growing sense of wonder. The artifacts are no longer distant or abstract, they are part of a shared human story, one that continues to inspire awe across centuries. Stepping out from the grand interior, the visitor finds themselves surrounded by serenity. The gardens of the National Palace Museum are a world of their own, a living reflection of the balance and harmony that define Chinese art and philosophy. The air feels lighter here, filled with the scent of blossoms, bamboo, and gently flowing water. Stone pathways wind gracefully through the gardens, leading visitors past lotus ponds, small bridges, and clusters of flowering trees. The ponds shimmer in the daylight, their surfaces broken only by the slow, elegant movements of koi fish gliding beneath the water. Their scales flash orange, gold, and white, living jewels set against the calm green reflection of the trees above. Lotus flowers bloom quietly, their petals opening to the sun, symbols of purity and resilience rising from still water. Traditional Chinese pavilions stand elegantly along the water's edge. Their curved rooftops and wooden beams are adorned with delicate carvings of dragons, phoenixes, and clouds. Red lanterns sway softly in the breeze, casting ripples of color across the ground. The sound of footsteps on stone mingles with the rustle of leaves and the murmur of fountains, creating a peaceful rhythm that feels both timeless and alive. Visitors move slowly through this space, their voices low, their pace unhurried. Some stop to photograph the perfect reflection of a pavilion in the water. Others sit quietly beneath shaded trees, sketching, reading, or simply breathing in the tranquility. Elderly couples stroll hand in hand, while children watch the fish with fascination. The garden becomes more than a backdrop, it is an experience, a moment of peace that connects art, nature, and the human spirit. Bamboo groves sway gently along the edges of the paths, their tall green stalks whispering softly as the wind passes through. The play of light and shadow across the ground feels almost musical, as if nature itself were part of the museum's design. Every detail, from the placement of rocks to the flow of water, is intentional, guided by centuries of landscape philosophy that seek balance between form and emptiness, stillness and movement. As visitors wander further, they find quiet pavilions overlooking the hills that cradle the museum. From these spots, the building's golden roofs rise majestically against the backdrop of Taipei's lush mountains. The harmony between architecture and nature becomes clear. The museum does not dominate the landscape, it belongs to it, as if it were always meant to be there. In the late afternoon light, the garden seems to glow. The water mirrors the sky's shifting colors, and the air grows thick with the warmth of the setting sun. The experience is meditative, a gentle pause in the journey through history and art. The gardens remind visitors that beauty is not only preserved in glass and stone, but also in the living world that surrounds us. Here, amid water, wood, and wind, the spirit of the museum expands beyond its walls. The gardens are a bridge between human creation and the natural world, a sanctuary where time slows and the soul finds stillness. Inside the museum, the pulse of life beats quietly but steadily. The National Palace Museum is not just a home for the past, it is alive, vibrant, and ever-evolving. Each day, people from every corner of the world step through its grand doors, drawn by a shared curiosity to witness the wonders of Chinese civilization. Families stroll hand in hand through the galleries, their voices hushed but filled with awe. Children gaze wide-eyed at jade carvings and ancient paintings, their imaginations sparked by the colors and stories. Students move carefully along the halls, sketchbooks in hand, capturing the brushwork of a master or the curve of a porcelain vase. Tourists pause before display cases, cameras ready, but often lowering them just to stand and admire in silence. Every visitor brings something unique: wonder, reflection, reverence, and in turn, takes something intangible with them: inspiration. The museum embraces the modern age, while remaining deeply rooted in tradition. Interactive digital displays allow guests to explore ancient scrolls in stunning detail, zooming into brushstrokes invisible to the naked eye. Augmented reality brings forgotten palaces and rituals to life, blending technology and history in a way that makes learning both dynamic and personal. Virtual exhibits connect Taipei to the world, allowing millions to experience the museum's treasures from afar. Curators and historians move quietly among the visitors, ensuring every piece is perfectly preserved and presented. Behind the scenes, conservators work with delicate precision, adjusting humidity, restoring faded pigments, and carefully handling fragile manuscripts. Their unseen work ensures that these treasures, many thousands of years old, remain vibrant for generations to come. Workshops and special programs invite participation. In one corner, visitors try their hand at traditional calligraphy, the scent of ink filling the air as brushes glide across rice paper. In another, children paint ceramics, guided by instructors who explain the significance of colors, symbols, and patterns. Cultural performances, lectures, and seasonal exhibitions keep the museum's spirit alive, celebrating not just history, but the ongoing story of art and identity. Even the quieter spaces, the museum cafe, the shaded terraces, the benches by lotus ponds are filled with gentle conversation and reflection. People sip tea, discuss their favorite artifacts, or simply watch the sunlight change across the rooftops. These moments of stillness connect the visitor to the deeper meaning of the museum, that art and beauty are not relics of the past, but living parts of the present. Every person who enters adds a new chapter to the museum's story. From the scholar studying ancient texts to the tourist discovering Chinese art for the first time, each encounter renews the museum's purpose: to preserve, to teach, and to inspire. The National Palace Museum today stands as both a guardian of history and a beacon of culture. Its treasures remain timeless, yet its spirit continues to grow alive with the laughter, footsteps, and quiet awe of everyone who walks through its halls. As the sun begins its slow descent behind the emerald hills of Taipei, the National Palace Museum basks in a warm, golden glow. The light softens, casting long, gentle shadows across the terraces and steps. The golden roofs shimmer as if the last rays of the day are paying their respects to centuries of art, wisdom, and memory. Visitors linger in the fading light. Some sit quietly on the stone benches near the gardens, watching as the sky shifts from gold to rose to violet. The air grows cooler, and the distant hum of the city begins to fade beneath the chorus of evening cicadas. A calm hush settles over the museum grounds, the kind of silence that invites reflection rather than emptiness. Inside, the galleries take on a different character. Under soft lights, jade and bronze glimmer gently, their ancient beauty undiminished by time. Scrolls rest behind glass, their ink and color still whispering the voices of the past. Every artifact, every brushstroke, every carving, every thread seems to carry its own quiet heartbeat, connecting the present to dynasties long gone. For a moment, time feels suspended. The world outside may move forward endlessly, but here, within these walls, the spirit of human creativity endures unchanged. It is a reminder that the stories of empires, the visions of artists, and the dreams of scholars never truly fade. They live on through preservation, through memory, and through those who come to see them. The camera drifts upward, rising slowly over the museum's radiant rooftops. Below, the lights of Taipei begin to flicker to life, 1,000 stars beneath the deepening sky. The museum stands between two worlds, the timeless realm of history and the ever-evolving pulse of the modern city. Pulse of the modern city lies its power. The National Palace Museum is not just a building filled with relics, it is a bridge across time, a vessel carrying the heart of Chinese civilization into the future. It stands as proof that beauty, wisdom, and creativity can outlast even the rise and fall of empires. As night finally embraces Taipei, the museum glows softly beneath the moonlight. Its presence feels eternal, serene, majestic, and full of quiet dignity. The day ends as it began, with light, with stillness, and with the unspoken promise that tomorrow, these treasures will continue to inspire all who walk through its doors. The final image fades on the museum's golden silhouette against a twilight sky, a guardian of the past, a gift to the present, and a beacon for generations yet to come.